Welcome to the LakeCity Podcast. Today, we are blessed to have one of our program coordinators, Muffy Price, in to visit with us and talk a little bit about their experience, some things that go on here at work, and maybe some extracurricular activities that Muffy's involved with. So, Muffy, thank you very much for coming in today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
It is my pleasure. We see each other in the hallway quite often, but to actually get this chance to sit down and share experiences, I think this will be a special moment. So thank you very much for consenting to that.
Cool.
So start off with the nitty-gritty. How long have you worked at LakeCity?
7 years this month.
7 years this month?
7 years. And I don't have the itch yet.
No. Oh, yeah, the 7-year itch. That's true. Well, we hope you don't have the 7-year itch because we love having you here. You do great work. And most importantly, what we do here is work with our supported employees, and you have a great rapport with all of the supported employees that work with you in the steak shop and down in the wood shop. So maybe talk a little bit about what you do here at LakeCity.
Nitty gritty. I make sure folks have stuff to do. So every day things come up, be it making survey steaks. I wish it was T-bone steaks. We always talk about just making steaks.
That would be yummy.
So it's survey steaks for construction.
Okay.
And we have various sizes that we make. They come in big lifts of lumber, so we have to cut them to size and then point them and bundle them up, and then they get sold. So there's that aspect. And then in the wood shop, there's a whole bunch of stuff to do down there. Lots of sanding, lots of kindling to cut. You would be surprised when we actually make furniture. There's lots of offcuts. They get turned into kindling, which again, we sell. There's a sale on right now, I believe.
Well, actually last year, because I had to do some work for a report that we sent out, we diverted 75,000 pounds of wood from going into the waste stream and turn that into kindling wood, which then provides supported employment opportunity and revenue for our organization. So It's a really important part of what we do.
Yep. So basically that's it. I just make sure that when folks show up, they have something to do for the day.
So you work right next to people, you support them in what they're doing and help them build on their skills?
Yep.
I guess as well, I mean, when you talked about the steak shop and you said, they have to be cut and they have to be bundled and they have to be, there's a lot of different steps along there. So it sounds like there are a lot of different roles for the varying abilities that people might have.
Yep.
That's excellent, because that's really important, because what we supported employment, people who sometimes hear that phrase, they think that it almost sounds like it's less than employment, but it's really enhanced employment. Mm-hmm. It's giving people support, meeting where they are, and as you've been here for 7 years, you've seen people build up skills, and then you've seen other people, maybe due to physical limitations, have to reduce what they do, and we find a role from them.
Yep.
So what did you do before you came to LakeCity? What was your journey to LakeCity?
I've done many things. I started off being a personal chef of all things. I've been a personal trainer and a fitness instructor. I have done some teaching. I ended up back in school to take counseling, and I got into this whole human services field. And my journey began in school, and then I worked at Building Futures. I managed the Futures Cafe there.
So Building Futures is another nonprofit organization.
Yes, one of our like-minded sister, brother, cousin organizations.
Like-minded, I like
yes,
that.
There you go. Yeah. As similar, except working with people with intellectual disabilities.
Okay.
I think one of my favorite things about this whole journey that I've been on is seeing how much people with so-called disabilities, like mental, physical disabilities, illnesses, when even themselves they think they might not be able to do much in life.
Yep.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has value. And that's like one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned throughout this journey. It's like everybody can do something.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you say that, because I was just talking the other day to somebody that I like to do tours here. I'm the tour guide. And I had a person in from one of the provincial departments. And they were asking me a question about one of the sort of the stories that leaves the biggest mark on me. And sometimes people leave here and they go off to school. They leave here, they get a full-time job. That's great. That is a completion of their journey, and we love to see them along that way. But it's the small things that make the biggest difference. And we have a participant who came here for recreational programming. He was in his 60s. He'd never worked a paying job before in his life. And he just happened to be in one of the rooms where we do one of our social enterprises, where we make the fire starters, which you're very involved in. And he saw one of the fire starters, just a little puck, looks like an oat cake, sitting on the table, and he asked what that was all about. And we told him what it was all about, how it gets made. Don't eat it. But he was interested in it and said that he wanted to try that. So now that individual who'd never worked before in his life in a paying job, he works 2 shifts a month. He comes in for 3.5 hours on a Wednesday, and you've never met a person more proud of what they accomplish and how they have come out of their shell. They're more interactive with people. They ask questions, they start conversations out of the blue, and that was not happening before. That person did not want paid employment when they came to us. They only wanted recreational programming. But building on their strengths and becoming more comfortable here, they then took the risk and put themselves out there.
Yep.
And now that story is a story that makes a way bigger impact on me than even some of the people that have gone on that came as clients that now work for us as full-time staff.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Which is really cool in and of itself. But that small step that individual made. So
which was a huge step for him.
For him, exactly. It's all relative. So I've often heard you talk about your love of singing and your love of musical theater, and just recently you've launched the auditions for your new play, musical theater play called Someplace Believing the Musical.
Yes.
What's that all about?
It is very much along the same lines as what we were talking about here today, Tim. So, my overall goal of this musical is to keep reducing the stigma around mental illness. So many times, like even my own experience with my own journey with mental illness, there is not enough support, there is not enough understanding, because there's this stigma around having a mental illness means you're broken.
Right.
And many people still do not understand. And all it takes is some understanding and some compassion, and you can make so much of yourself. Kind of like what we do here, like your guy you were just talking about.
Yep.
All he needed was just a little bit of somewhere where he could feel safe.
Yep.
Because he didn't feel safe before. So my play is all about... It's loosely based on my own life,
Okay.
my own struggles with mental illness. It addresses many issues. It addresses mental illness itself, gender issues, gender diversity, ethnic diversity,
Right.
And all of the struggles that everybody has, and it kind of brings it all together in a musical with some really funky music that's like kind of like 80s pop rock with some symphony in the background.
I'm an 80s boy, so
yeah,
I like
boy,
it.
yeah,
I like
it's
my good
good
80s pop
stuff.
music.
That's you're gonna like this then. So it brings it about in a fun way, because there's a lot of humor in it. Because personally, I didn't get through all this misery without humor.
Right.
You need some humor to keep you going. So there's a serious side, there's a humorous side, and in the end, it's just going to make you think. It's going to make you think differently. It's going to make you realize that, just because I have a mental illness or maybe another quote-unquote disability,
Right.
doesn't make me weak. It can make you even stronger. I know that I would not be as strong as I am without my own mental illness, because of the journey that it took me on.
I've heard it said that scar tissue is stronger than
Yes.
regular tissue.
Yes,
So
that's
that's
it.
the thing we build on. When you were talking about getting rid of, trying to destroy the stigma and a search for understanding, I was watching a TV show. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a show called Ted Lasso. It's a fish out of water story about an American football coach that goes to England to coach a soccer team, and just the changes he goes through and what he brings to people. And there's a lot of humor, and there's a scene in it where he says this quote where he says, "People have to be curious, not judgmental."
Yes.
And I've often heard myself in my head going with that refrain, that to be curious. And to be curious is not just to think, hey, what's that all about? But finding out about people. If we want to reduce or destroy the stigma around mental illness, people have to be curious as opposed to judgmental or afraid or allowing themselves to, fall prey to stereotypes and, what they think. So I think that's great. So tell me a little bit more about what, do you have a musical theater analog to this? Is there something this is like? Is there, if someone were to be into musical theater, you might say it's very much like this, or is it unique and stands alone?
It's pretty unique. I've actually started working with a very accomplished theatrical producer.
Okay.
And she is just kind of being my mentor through all this, because I'm producing and directing, writing all this all by myself. But she's acting like as a mentor, and she read it, and she's just like, there's not much out there like this.
and that's the thing. Things change all the time.
Yeah.
And the concept of it's not like anything else, that's not to make it better or worse or anything like that, just to say that sometimes it's unique, and unique is really important. We need more unique.
Yep. And it's not like it's not a musical where, like, if you've seen Into the Woods, where they sing the whole way through it. It's acting with 6 songs thrown in there for anybody who's like, personally, I'm not a fan of the musicals that just sing the whole way through. I like to have it broken up, so that's kind of like how I did it.
Okay. So talking about that, and you said you've been doing this for quite a while, when did your interest in music and theater come about?
Well, music is born into me. I was just born, like, I came out of the womb. There's a picture of me sitting at the piano at 6 months old.
Impressive.
So it's just like the music is just in me. I was born like that way. I was raised by a very musical father who was like obsessed with the Rolling Stones. He was like a Mick Jagger impersonator.
Amazing.
He actually taught me all I know about music.
Okay.
Just a very musical, the whole family was musical, really. So always music. Theater, not so much, really. I was in some plays, like growing up. I was in a couple musicals, like in school, high school. And I've seen a few plays. I've read a few plays. And it just, I don't know, one day, it's like, my mom was asking me the other day, like, how did you really start? Like, what made you think of this musical? And I was like, I can't remember. It just kind of happened. It's just like one day I woke up and said, I think I'm going to write a musical. And it just kind of happened. It was weird.
No, I think that sounds to me like there was something in you that had to come out.
Yeah,
and
much.
And there was no holding it back, and it was the time to do it. So now, right now, you are holding auditions for your play. What would an audition for a musical look like?
Yeah, so you would just come in, sing me what you can sing. I'm asking people to sing an 80s song because that's like the style. And I'm looking for, like right now, I'm looking for those really strong, distinct 80s voices, like the Debbie Gibsons and Pat Benatar, that type of, like those pipes.
There's a little bit of tip for you. Come in with a Debbie Gibson or a Pat Benatar song if you want to be cast in this.
Or Pointer Sisters, even Pointer Sisters, Stacy Q, good songs, good singers. I have some men in there too, though, so you gotta come in with your Journey, your Def Leppard, show me what you can do, and then. Would
Corey Hart be okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He's not my favorite, but I'll take him. He could go.
I thought because you're from Quebec, I thought maybe you're Corey Hart, you'd be, no.
Yeah, I also am not a fan of Celine Dion. Please forgive me.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And, if you have Whitney Houston pipes, whoo, there's no turning back. And then you're going to show me some dance moves. Show me how you can twirl and boogie.
Yeah. So if you go back and watch some old dance shows from the 80s if you want to know how we used to dance back then.
Do some Solid Gold and some Star Search. And
yeah, there you go. So how would people get in touch with you if they're interested in auditioning?
Yep, so through my Facebook page or Theatre Nova Scotia. You can go on the Theatre Nova Scotia website under auditions, and I'm posted there. And you can go to my Facebook page, which is Someplace Believing: the musical. It's very important that you put the colon in there because I'm not a technological person. When I was first making the page, I accidentally made a page that doesn't have the colon in, and it's no good. So you got to put the colon.
Okay.
Someplace believing colon the musical. Now
punctuation is important.
Yes, our LakeCity page also has posted many. If you go through all of our old posts, thank you to LakeCity for helping me advertise this.
There you go.
The link would be through some of the old posts. So I'm currently I'm having preliminary video auditions, so you can send it via Facebook Messenger, and then I'm having a live audition November 1st. Again, that'll all be posted on my Facebook page.
Excellent. So you brought in some music.
Yes.
So you're going to play
a sample
of one of the songs that's going to be in the musical. So does this song have a name, or is
Yes.
it?
Okay. Oh, yes. They all do. This one is called All Fall Down.
Okay, this is All Fall Down.
All fall down, like we all fall down.
Cry at night, no eye there, like an angel, on a kiss and a prayer. Sometimes we all fall down. Sometimes we all crash in the sea. God help me catch your love. If you fall in front of me, I won't let go. I'm going my way.
There you go. Well, thank you very much for that. And so that's called All Fall Down?
Yep, and my apologies. I'm a composer. I'm not a singer, so I do my best here. But this is just for the people who can sing, this is gonna help them, guide them.
There you go. Well, that's the thing. I mean, some of the best songwriters in the world, they can sing, they can get the tune out.
Yeah.
Other people take their songs and they
there you go,
make
and
magic
that's
with it. So to close off, I'd like to ask you a question I've been asking people. What are your favorite memories of your time here at Lake City?
My favorite memory actually got replaced with what I was thinking of last Friday.
Okay.
And it's more like just along the theme of the Lake City community and how we roll here. So we were in a crunch to get out an order of steaks, and we were down some people. Like, we didn't have as much staff as we normally would. And we motored and we worked together, and it was poetic. You talk about musical. It was like a musical in of itself, and the way we worked together, like, there was hardly any even talking involved. It's just the fact that in a crunch, everybody pulls together. And it's not the first time that's happened, but there was something special about Friday because I also had some newer people that I hadn't worked with as much. And I'm like, wow. It blew me away, and we did what we had to do, and against all odds, we got her done.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. So, and that's what happens here. I've never had a time where I've needed help, and somebody has just said, no. I need help. They drop what they're doing, and it's like, all right, let's go. What do we need?
It's almost like from the Apollo 13, where they say failure is not an option.
Right.
Saying no is not an option when you need help. And I like the fact that you use the term community to describe what we are here at Lake City, because often in the nonprofit world, I find people are very apt to use the term, we're a family here. But the joke I always tell is we're not a family because we don't fight very much.
We don't fight that much.
And,
sometimes, but not as much.
I mean, disagreements happen, but mostly a community.
Not that much.
They have lots of unique individuals. People make up a community. Different individuals make up a community, but they all make it what it is. And when things are needed in a community, whether that's during a hurricane, whether that's during, during COVID, or whether that's, during a situation like here in our steak shop where we have a rush order that has to get out, everybody comes together.
Pull together.
And make it happen.
And get her done.
Well, Muffy, I really thank you very much for coming in here to talk to us today.
And I thank you. This has been wonderful.
No,
I've never been in a podcast before.
There you go. This is your first time and only my fourth time hosting the podcast. So my name is Tim Vasello. I'm the Director of Programming and Partnerships here at Lake City. I'm also the podcaster for the time being until we get some folks up from our recreation program to come in, and they're going to lead some of these podcasts. So once again, this is the Lake City Podcast, and I've just been talking to Muffy Price. Oh.